It would be an understatement to say that kimchi plays an important role in Koreans' daily lives. Kimchi is used as a side dish in almost every Korean meal. Its historical and cultural significance date back long before Korea's united history. There's records dating back to the Three Kingdoms period of kimchi production. It wasn't until the 19th century actually where kimchi started using napa cabbage that you see today. Other vegetables such as radish and cucumbers were more commonplace. And did you know that originally kimchi wasn't actually spicy? Chili peppers weren't introduced to East Asia and Korea specifically until the 1600s when Portuguese travelers would come and bring them as trade from the Americas. So when you see kimchi recipes today, most of them date back to the 19th century. Kimchi as a whole has been a very strong part of Korea's identity. Fall is a very important time for Korean families to get together for an event called Kimjang. It's where the family will get together and make kimchi for the next year. Kimchi as a fermented food is able to last for a very long period of time. Some Korean families even have specialized Korean refrigerators for kimchi. But in the olden days, what kimchi would be buried in the ground and it would stay good for a very long time, and to this day is still a very strong staple in Korean meals. So it's no surprise that November 22nd was designated Kimchi Day here in Korea. So to celebrate Kimchi Day, what we're going to do is make our own kimchi. We're going to be making oi kimchi or cucumber kimchi. Personally, it's one of my favorites to eat. I really like the crunchy texture. And another advantage of cucumber kimchi is that it gets ready really quickly. Within a couple days you can eat the cucumber kimchi, so it's a great side dish to have during the summertime or actually anytime throughout the year. So let's go ahead and get the ingredients ready for the cucumber kimchi. So we're going to start by cutting off the ends of each of the cucumbers and then dividing it into 3 sections before cutting it halfway. And for this recipe, we're going to be using 3 good-sized cucumbers. We're then going to transfer them into a bowl and we're going to mix them with some sea salt. Just kind of want to lightly coat them to kind of dry them out a little bit. So we're just sprinkling some of that in and then we're going to thoroughly mix it together. You want to kind of get each of the pieces coated in the salt. So while we let that sit for about 20 minutes, we can go ahead and make the kimchi sauce that we will use to mix it together. So first we're going to start with the 1 tablespoon of mixed garlic, along with 1 tablespoon of grated red apple, and half a teaspoon of ginger. Then we'll go ahead and mix in 1 tablespoon of sugar along with 2 tablespoons of the gochugaru. For the liquid, we're going to be using 3.5 teaspoons of the fish sauce. Some recipes use the sayujot or the salted shrimp, but if you don't have that, like in my case, you can go ahead and use a little bit extra of the fish sauce. We're going to go ahead and add the 3.5 teaspoons of that, and then you're going to want to thoroughly mix everything together into a kind of paste. Once you got the sauce mixed together, you can go ahead and set that aside. Then we'll go ahead and get some of these ready. So what we'll want to do is go ahead and cut off the tips, and then we'll want to roughly cut them the same size as the cucumbers. These are garlic chives. These are optional, but you can also use these along with carrots when you're mixing them together. One of the types of cucumber kimchi is like a stuffed variety where you put these inside the cucumber. It's something that my mom usually does, but today we're just using a simpler recipe. So after the 20 minutes, we've gone ahead and removed the excess salt, rinsed out the bowl, and put the cucumbers back in. The salt drew out some of the water on there and helps with the pickling process. So now that we've got that all set, we can go ahead and add the garlic chives. And then we'll go ahead and add in the sauce that we made earlier. Go ahead and spoon that in. Now the best way to mix this is going to be by hand, so you can either get gloves and cover your hands or make sure that you wash your hands before and after. So you want to thoroughly mix everything together. Get every piece coated. So once we've got them thoroughly mixed, we can go ahead and transfer them to a container. Typically you want to use kind of like a glass container that's kind of airtight, but in this case, since we don't have that, we've got this Tupperware dish that has a pretty tight lid on it. Go ahead and transfer all of the contents inside. Then it's just going to be a waiting game. We're going to close this up, and you'll want to let it sit at room temperature for between 12 to 18 hours to let it start getting fermented. Then after that time, you can go ahead and put it in the refrigerator and make sure that it's chilled before you serve it. Unlike some of the other kimchis, the cucumber kimchi you'll want to eat within about a week or so. After about a week, the cucumbers start to get kind of mushy and won't taste as good, so try to eat them within a week. You can use the cucumber kimchi in stuff like bibimbap as just a regular side dish. There's a lot of different options for you with the cucumber kimchi. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed making the cucumber kimchi with me. If you want, I'll go ahead and list the ingredients below along with a link to the recipe that we used today. And if you guys enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like. Make sure you're also subscribed to watch our next adventure. And if you do make cucumber kimchi yourself, go ahead and tag us on Instagram, South Korea Travels. I'll go ahead and put a link here. And until next time, this is Harold with South Korea Travels. See you guys on the next adventure. Bye bye.